Aqui a Ham Private Living, we are the creditors committee, and we are charging you criminal offender. I was, coming into my place, and I have this thing inside that table. As you can observe, I have our financial research there for the support at the judicial system. It's a judicial research. Learn piano, and I really like music, but piano is not my area. So I will suggest you, instead of have piano, separate your money as 34 trillion, which is 33 plus 1 trillion. 1 trillion is based on your fake behavior and falsehood, which is going by the need as protection of data and records on public departments that must do things by law, but it's unable to act and have legal accomplishment, especially transparency. And if they do not have the legitimacy to present the transparency as record, they have no legitimacy to do nothing, because the transparency about things made implies the legitimacy during all this period. The causality is kind of evidencing that if you are unable to have the accountability and transparency of your result by inference according to the US judicial system, all period before is something that may be a mistake. Concept used, repeated decimal, and the period is a mistake. Of course, that your unit do not achieve the value 1, and it's a mistake, resulting in something that you are unable to present by law, by constitution. Indeed, it's named iter criminis. You are a criminal offender. You are hidden inside the institution, and we could get that this debt as a debtor system with offenders inside is equal as criminal system by the behavior to do not pay the consequence against the behavior made. But you are not the object today. We will have one last issue. Considering our constitution, you please take a look. Judicial power America and international judicial power plus the defensive system USA as a system of justice international. On Brazilian Constitution, Article 5, Clause 12, it's said there by the constitutional speech that you can't violate the secrecy of mailbox, communication, and data. You can't violate. Take a look. It means that you only can have the violation or at the communication sector at the phone call by the signature as a judge during a judicial procedure. But you are unable to present the transparency of all things. And this evidence is proven by the law against the abuses made by authorities. You are a criminal, a conjuncture of criminals, integrated by failures on budget that you are unable to present your reasons by law to have as having the systematic behavior, which is a failure since always. We will make our movement today quite simple, quite clear. We will take a look at the board, and this board is kind of like shaking, And we will have on mind that the last issue that we had was something like this. As you can observe, we are doing research. And if you have an entrance as analogic talking, kind of coming into my place without my permission, or by the simulation as use of my Wi-Fi or whatever to get me logged in something that is not the consume that I'm paying for, you had a complaint yesterday to take a look at the consumer law in Brazil that has a guarantee as basic right that you do not respect, but America will get a look at this by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, USA, considering the economic espionage, which is threatening the prevention of loss that goes or can go in America in the same way we had in Brazil, despite you didn't consider this research as financial and economic control to prevent this kind of loss, because you took advantage of all things that indeed was diverted. And of course, that, as we told yesterday, the tax system are all equally effective, because we will steal your money by the use as state power, but they are all not efficient, because the application of the money that they steal from the society is kind of applied mostly all the time, at least since the COVID-19, at least since 2014, by overpriced payment. It's the object of the investigation operation Third Win in America. The paradigm was the Unisys as a case, and we had a lot of things there. We observe that the judicial research goes like this. We have the driver alpha, which is my effort, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the interests of we both. And have the prevention as lost, which is the lost on regular field switched into gains of criminal scams, and advantage going by the public corruption associated with criminal groups. The interest is having a new mafia, as mob is, in globally speaking, is a reality. The pandemic even do not allow ourselves to tell a lie, especially by the notoriety of facts and circumstances that we are working since from the very beginning. And in the same way, you did a violation of my instruments, like computer, mobile, you violate equally the Microsoft Windows as a system, the Google Android as a system. The two both have the legitimacy to research. And considering the research, for instance, made by our effort as alpha and beta, we will have one paradigm as a financial punishment against the dishonest behavior going by the US judicial power as a research frequency or repetition as repeated decimal by chairs, especially the lifelong chairs. Of course, that we understand that if I got 1 trillion as fraud, failures, and crimes, I do not, maybe will have to walk through until the 33 trillion as research, because it's the same peers interconnecting themselves by the concurrent interest on failures and mitigation of control that allows to take advantage of all things. And this is the idea of this situation. And we will have on mind today something like this. This is quite simple, quite clear, and we will remember that the frauds on sports going by the schedule as sports events, and carrying with the stakeholders, the sponsorships, the payment, and as a pattern over price on it. Of course, that's the origin of the money must be researched, because we have limited research as money. And by the values that we can observe on big centers sports, considering only the soccer, if you are American, or the football, if you are in UK, maybe we will have the idea as laundering scams plus fake money. The international currency as standard is the US dollars. we are observing the risk as real situation as fake dollars by silent or blind association since the origin of these dollars until the entire workflow. And we have a level that can be integrated, and it's not a monetary value but used at the financial market, which is the cryptocurrency, and other elements associated with, especially items and services by estimative of price or discount policy. You set by the discount a minor result and you will pay minor tax, or by overprice estimated, the overestimated as price of service and things like this, you set a gap or a space to have the insertion at the laundry scale. We will check that the idea that we had yesterday was have the plea bargain considering the first issue as main premise, the review of the type of competitions that we have. Instead of having the first division, the second division, we will have only one division as with two leagues, the league A, the league B, and they will have the ranking points until one specific period in both sides. Then I will have 8 teams ranked here in each side that will face each other as a playoff, and then we will have a championship as a main driver. This is going inside a national space because the current situation allowed you as having the matrix as behavior of your teams, and this going on your division A, B, and C, and it's almost impossible to have this. You will still have this pattern as ranking points, but not during the entire competition. It means that when we are having the face-to-face contest as playoffs with 8 teams in each league, facing each other, it's like a depuration and a minor space to have the adjustment of mathematics and things like this. And we will get that indeed we will have our situation as competition, which is the league A and B, and one situation here which is the group inside that will face each other, and your space to do the adjustment of price will be something reduced. The last 4 teams here and the last 4 teams here will be transferred to the second division, I would say. And we will have something like this. Here will be my second division that will have 8 teams ranked that will be redistributed as 4 for each side, and these 4 last teams will be at the second division. We'll finish this part here and move on. We will continue with our humble effort.